But they will always go back to the original Arabic text.
And because you have the original Arabic text,
Exactly.
you can translate it based on the intent.
Exactly.
As opposed to
Exactly, and you never lose the meaning because you can always go back to the original, right? So there's no versions, no additions, no subtractions. You can find translations of the meanings in every language, but you can always go back to the original Arabic and you'll have one set that everybody around the world follows.
Yeah.
Now, somebody may try to corrupt the meaning in their own mind, right? For example, somebody may take a verse out of context and use it for evil, right? And that happens. We can't stop people from misunderstanding something. But the original message is never lost. And that's important because today when you talk to different Christian denominations, the essence of Christianity is debated. Meaning, you will go to a Catholic and they will say Mary is holy in and of herself, you can pray to her. You'll go to a Protestant and they'll tell you no, she in herself is not holy, you cannot pray to her, that's idol worship and this, right? Catholics will come and say you can worship and pray to saints. And then Protestants with Martin Luther and his ideas of Reformation will say no, you can't. See, the original message is not preserved because of the changes and additions out of the Bible. But in the Quran, the actual essence is always preserved. If somebody misunderstands it or for political causes uses it in a wrong context, that could happen. But if you ever want to know the truth about Islam, that is preserved. You know? And that's important for people like yourself because you guys have that open mind where you want to know what is historically accurate, what is the original message. Because nobody wants to follow something that's been corrupted, right? I mean, you know, you get iPhone headphones, right? The original, that is, you get it. Why? Because that's where the quality's at. I can get you a knockoff for $2, you know, but it won't last you 2 weeks, right? So, but you're like, I don't want the knockoff. I want the original. I want what's, you know, right? And that's the thing with the religion. You want to follow that which is the essence, that which has the truth, that which is as it was revealed. And as Muslims, we tie all those messages together. What do I mean? If you go to a person of the Judaic faith and you ask them about Jesus, they will say, you know, I mean, they will use very disrespectful words. I won't use them here, but they will say he was born of illegitimate means. He was not born without a father. He was not a prophet. He was not a holy man. He was a heretic who went out of the faith of Judaic faith, and he you know, all kinds of very negative things. And the same thing you may hear about the Prophet Muhammad or about other prophets in the past. We as Muslims are the only ones that show the unity of that message. Because if you look at the Bible, you will find a lot of the same teachings in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, and the Quran. Right? Don't steal, don't worship idols, don't kill people. You know, you'll find a common message, right? But how do you tie that together? Muslims are the only ones that have the answer to that. As Muslims, we say, look, the same creator, the same Allah, the same God, the same one deity sent Abraham, sent Moses, sent Jesus, sent Muhammad, peace be upon all of them. That's why we love and respect all of them. You'll see people try to disrespect the Prophet Muhammad and make drawings or whatever, you know, something. But you will never see a Muslim disrespect Jesus. Why? Because we love Jesus. We believe in him as equally as we believe in Abraham and Moses and Muhammad, peace be upon them. If a Muslim doesn't believe in Jesus, he's not a Muslim. Exactly. So that's why you see this respect and this idea how you tie all the faiths together. Right? And that's an answer you can't get in other religions. You can say, well, how come the Quran has this beautiful message and has so many similarities? And they'll say, no, it was just made up. Well, how could it be? I mean, just think, you know, you're logical guys, right? What do you guys study? Do you go to school? Do you work? What do you do? Yeah. All of that and none of that? All right, yeah. Good. But, you know.
Studying linguistics.
Linguistics, excellent. So now think about this, right? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a man who couldn't read or write. Historically, right? He couldn't read or write. All of Arabic grammar, the final decision, what we call nahu and sarf, is made by the Quran. Even if you go to a non-Muslim Arabic professor, he will refer to the Quran for Arabic grammar.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
So how can a man who doesn't know how to read or write produce something that is the essence of an entire language? Not just that. Think it through. Take the Quran, take this book with you. You know, you will see. There you go. Scientific facts in the Quran that could not have possibly been known at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, right? How a child develops in the womb of the mother, how there are waves under waves in the ocean, how sweet water and salt water touch but don't mix. How can a man in a desert who's in Arabia. He's not in the Roman or Greek Empire where they have a lot of scientific research and philosophy, who's never been to where sweet and salt water mix, who's never been under the ocean, who's never had the technology or the ability to study how a child develops. How can he bring that forth, right? I mean, logically it's impossible, right? And not just once. I mean, anybody can guess at one thing, right? Okay, you make a guess, you're like, okay, how does this happen? You're like, this way, and you're like, you got a 50% chance, right? But in the Quran, as there's a professor, his name is Dr. Berpikiran, he was French atheist, began a research to disprove religion, right? So he took the Bible, he took modern science, he destroyed it, he showed it, he presented it, everybody standing ovation, everything like that. So he said, I'm on a roll, I'm going to do the Quran next. So he took the Quran and he found that everything in the Quran repeatedly, not once, not twice, not one here and there, repeatedly was what modern science discovered hundreds, thousand plus 1400 now years later. So he said, look, this is impossible. You can't guess these many times and get it right. This is divine. And he became a Muslim and he published a book called The Bible, the Quran and Science. Dr. Berpikiran, you can Google it, you can get a PDF, So think about this. How does a man in the desert who couldn't, even if he could get to that kind of knowledge, he couldn't read or write. And he wasn't in a place of scientific discoveries or philosophy. He's in a desert, right? How could he repeatedly know those things, make predictions about who would win between Persians and Romans, and every time it would come correct? Make predictions about the day of judgment and the signs that would come, and every time they come correct. And know about the history, about what happened with Joseph and Moses and all of them, when this was not a specialty of the Arab. There were not people who were Christian or Jewish scholars, right? How would he get all of that and scientific facts and linguistic facts? After a while, you got to say, look, this is not written by the Prophet Muhammad. And that's why he said, this is not written by me. This was revealed. It is of divine origin, and there are repeated miracles to let you know. And it's such a miracle that you can hold it in your hand. Like Jesus, okay, he walked on water. We believe in it too, but none of us can see that today. So it's a miracle for the people of his time. Right? Today, an atheist could come forward and say, I don't believe in it. Right? How do you prove it? You got a video, right? YouTube, right? But the Quran is such a miracle that till the day of judgment, you can have it in your hand, you can read it, you can verify it against what we have discovered as facts in science, not theories, but facts, and you can see the truth of it. So, if you guys have any questions or any objections, we're here to discuss. If not, read up, and if you agree with it, I think you should take that step and declare your Islam. If not, take your time, read it, and you will see it will seep in your heart.
Yeah, I look forward to learning a lot.
Excellent. Well, it's great talking to you guys. And if you have any more questions, we're here. Come on by. Thank you. Have a good one.